The story begins with Park Yang-ho, a shy and nerdy literature student. He isn't rich, in fact, he struggles just to survive. To earn some money, he applies for a part-time job as a waiter at a hotel. When he arrives for the interview, he meets a cheerful and beautiful employee named Ji-pyo. Yang-ho immediately becomes nervous. He isn't used to talking to someone this pretty. Soon, the hotel manager arrives for the interview. Looking at Yang-ho's impressive academic resume, the manager is confused. Why would such a talented student apply for a low-paying waiter job? The answer is simple. Yang-ho desperately needs money. He's willing to do any honest work just to survive. One day during his break, Yang-ho sits quietly in a hidden corner reading a book. Typical introvert behavior. But suddenly, Ji-pyo finds him. She smiles and tells him that this spot is actually her secret hiding place too. Curious, she asks what he's reading. Ji-pyo accidentally drops some ice cream on his book. Embarrassed, she sits down to apologize. While talking, she notices his hands. They are rough and scratched from working hard. Without thinking much, she gently rubs lotion on them. The sudden touch completely freezes Yang-ho. From that day on, the two start spending more time together. They read books together, they talk about life, and slowly, they fall in love. One night after work, Yang-ho prepares a special surprise. Inside an empty hotel room, he arranges a romantic dinner. Under soft lights, he finally gathers the courage to confess his feelings. Ji-pyo smiles, and she says yes. The two officially start dating. For Yang-ho, life finally feels perfect. Time passes and Yang-ho eventually graduates from college. He decides to quit his hotel job to chase his real dream, becoming a writer. But there is one big problem. He now has no income. Ji-pyo reads his early writing drafts and encourages him. Yang-ho promises her something important. Once his writing career becomes successful, he will take care of her and build a future together. But reality is much harsher than dreams. Because Yang-ho isn't earning money, Ji-pyo has to support both of them financially. The stress slowly begins to affect their relationship. They even start arguing over small things like buying cat food. For Ji-pyo, every coin now matters. One evening, Yang-ho picks Ji-pyo up from work. He wants to take her on a movie date, but Ji-pyo looks completely exhausted. She tells him she already has plans with her friends. She chooses to spend the night with them instead. Understanding the pressure she feels, Yang-ho decides to give her some space. He stops contacting her for a few days, but when he finally tries to reach her again, she never replies. Worried, he visits her workplace, but the manager delivers shocking news. No one knows where Ji-pyo went. She simply disappeared. Yang-ho is completely heartbroken. He cries alone, realizing the love of his life has vanished without any explanation. After losing Ji-pyo, Yang-ho never truly recovers. He convinces himself that love simply isn't meant for him. All his past relationships have failed, so he decides something important. He will live his entire life alone. From that moment on, being single becomes his lifestyle. He watches movies alone. He eats alone. He even buys gifts for himself. Years pass. Yang-ho eventually becomes successful. He doesn't become a famous novelist like he dreamed, but he becomes a very popular essay instructor. Many institutions compete to hire him. Now he is wealthy. But despite his success, one thing hasn't changed. He still lives completely alone. Meanwhile, somewhere else in Seoul, we meet Joo Hyun-jin, the chief editor at a publishing company. One day, she calls her team for an emergency meeting. Their biggest author has suddenly fallen ill. The next day, Hyun-jin and her team watch a video of Young-ho teaching his class. As soon as the lecture starts, everyone in the room is impressed. Young-ho is an incredibly brilliant teacher. He explains even the most complex writing theories with such clarity that his students listen to him with complete focus. It almost feels like he understands everything about writing. But after the video ends, the room suddenly becomes quiet. Then Hyun-jin realizes something surprising. Maybe this is actually Young-ho's biggest problem. He understands every rule and theory of writing perfectly, but when it comes to expressing his own emotions on paper, he struggles. And that might be the real reason why someone so talented has never been able to publish his own book.